Here with Al Snow. If you don't know Al Snow, shame on you.
Yeah, really. How could you not know me? Especially if you've watched the most recent episode of America's Most Wanted. Sure you know who I am now.
We got him on parole, so we're good. We're good at least for a few minutes. So.
Yeah.
All right, Al, so you're working with TNA Impact Wrestling, big live show to kick off this live summer series for Spike TV.
Very exciting.
First thing I want to throw at you is that just the aspect of the show being live compared to it being a tape show, and your thoughts of that going that way.
The aspect of it being live as opposed to a tape show is it just adds so much more energy. It's got a lot of more immediacy to it. It's more exciting for the performers, for us. It's a lot more stressful to produce it, but in the entertainment genre of television, nobody produces live television like professional wrestling. We do it and have done it for ages, and we do it very well. And especially considering the fluidity of what we do when we perform out there, it's amazing that what we pull off is incredible. And we do it on a weekly basis, live, and no safety net, no editing, what you see is what you get, and we've been able to over the years do it very well.
Do you think the wrestlers don't get enough credit for what they're able to do live? Because unless from an average fan standpoint you may not catch everything, but it just seems like you don't see too many bloopers when it comes to professional wrestling shows that are live.
I would say that as a whole, and please don't misunderstand, I'm not saying this because I am a wrestler or been involved in wrestling or still am involved in wrestling. I can say that genuinely, I don't think that wrestlers or the art, and I did say art, of wrestling gets the credit that it truly deserves. It's kind of, it's always been this kind of backwater type of entertainment, and everybody kind of poo-poos it, when really, actually, it's a real international phenomenon and has been so for ages. So, and it's the only, second to jazz, is the only true American art form. It's an art form in and of itself of physical storytelling that's done in such a way as to manipulate the audience's emotions to a high peak to make them want to see the next step in the story, or the chapter of the story. And in professional wrestling, we do that better than anybody. Are we actors? No, we're more reactors than actors. Are we athletes? I think that unquestionably, I've seen professional wrestlers are probably some of the greatest all-around athletes ever in the history of athletics. You see 300-pound men moving like they are literally 180-pound gymnasts. It's astounding. They go out there and they physically perform and beat their bodies up and from a quantum physics, they did a study, and the impact of when the guys land on the ring is equivalent to about a 20 mile to 25 mile per hour car wreck. They experience that over and over again, and even at just a 10 or 15 minute match. And they do this on a nightly basis. And to be able to do that, and do that at a level that is able to motivate people in the tens of thousands worldwide to pay to see them year after year after year, is an incredible accomplishment. And then to do it live on television, and let's face it, there are some major Hollywood production companies that would not want to undertake a live production of a television show, let alone do it on a weekly basis, and we do it all the time.
Is it amazed you from when you first started to what you know now, everything like that's been involved, and just things like that? Because I'm sure growing up, you were a wrestling fan growing up?
Absolutely.
So obviously then you get a different perspective than when you're involved in it.
And the length of time that I've been in professional wrestling for 30 years, and been with every different company, and the longer I've been at, the more appreciation I get for it. I have for the performers, for the actual art of professional wrestling, and the business of professional wrestling, the production of professional wrestling. I get more respect for everybody that's involved. I've ventured off into other genres of things, with TV and acting and things like that, and I can tell you that you learn skills in professional wrestling that you would never learn performing in any other type of medium. The only thing that would even come possibly close to it would be maybe stand-up comedy. And that would be about as close as I think you would get to what the art form is in professional wrestling.
And someone like Mick Foley and others, others, have gotten involved in stand-up comedy.
Yeah, they have. They have gotten involved in stand-up comedy, and a lot of guys have gotten involved in acting. Granted, it's a natural extension of what we are already doing, but acting, stand-up comedy, etc., are their own worlds, and they have their own set of rules and expectations, and etc., that you have to step in and be willing to start from the bottom and relearn as you go. But the skills that you learn as a performer in professional wrestling put you so far beyond what other people are capable of, because you're used to being adaptable, of being able to think on your feet and think on the fly and be able to talk to and speak to the public on many different levels. You can go in, and I know professional wrestlers that could go in and literally speak to the President of the United States and seem as if they were both on the same level, and walk right out and speak to a homeless guy and never make that guy feel any less than the U.S. President of the United States.
What's it like being a road agent? What is a road agent for those that you can, whatever you can give us?
To be a road agent is really technically to be kind of a producer, but not so much a producer as a facilitator and a communicator. We'll determine what we want out of a particular match, what we call business out of the match, or emotion, and how we're going to get there, and why we're going to get there, because we're going to try to tell a story. So when we need this to be done a certain way to tell that story, and so I'm going to help facilitate that as much as possible. I'm also going to try to communicate to the wrestlers to get them to understand what it is they need to do and how they need to do it within the context of the match to tell that story. So, and then producing, meaning that I'm going to go around and I'm going to make sure that music's played at a certain time, certain things happen at a certain moment to